Hello everyone and welcome to the Oyama Yasuharu Tsumeshogi session. Today we'll be uh, starting out with the simpler problems as usual. And if you're not familiar with the format of the stream, what you do is if you want to make an attempt at answering the problem, you can send me a PM on 81 Dojo, or if you're on Twitch, send me a whisper. That way other people won't see what you're trying to uh, what you're thinking. And if you happen to be in the 81 Dojo room with me, please refrain from drawing arrows. Thank you. Yeah, and if you're in chat, please throw a snowball. Let me know you're there. Hi, welcome. Welcome to the stream. So when I'm looking at this problem, one of the things that most worries me is the king kind of running up maybe in this direction. So if we start off with some kind of vulgar move like this, we're going to run out of pieces. So we have to be a little bit smarter about it. Hi, welcome to the stream. Throw a snowball, let me know you're there. If you're new to the stream, please send a whisper if you wish to make an attempt at solving the problem. That way other people can't see what your answer is. And if you happen to be in the 81 Dojo room with me, please refrain from drawing arrows. Make sure my settings are, yeah, okay. Any ideas? Hey, hi, Miyamo. I guess this is the first time I've seen you here. Have you seen my stream before? Or why okay, he asks, do you mind if I ask you why you started playing Tsumeshogi? Well, you know, Tsumeshogi teaches you a lot about shogi in general. For one thing, checkmate ends a game of chess and also shogi. So this is some of the very basic things that you need to know in order to play well. It also teaches you how to calculate and doing some learning, even how to look at defense, because you have to calculate what the opponent's king is going to do in order to escape from certain kinds of attacks. So you learn attack, defense, sabaki, light moves, calculation, all sorts of really good stuff that carry over to other parts of your game. When I'm looking at some of the Dan level players on 81 Dojo, you you can often find a lot of endgame mistakes or missed sumes. Also, you know, because it, it, it's partially because of time pressure. The games on 81 Dojo are timed, so there is that factor. But a lot of the time, it's simply because the players aren't looking for the tsume, so they'll be looking for maybe like a yose instead, or even worse, they'll play like some kind of heavy move. And by practicing Tsumeshogi over and over again, you learn to avoid these kinds of bad habits and really take into account initiative. So yeah, many reasons. Another I can think of is with endgame positions like this. Uh, there's an exact way to mate, so you have to be very precise in your calculations. It's really a yes or no thing. In certain more complicated positions, you can say, "Oh, I feel this side is better or that side is better," and there's a little bit more room to have an opinion. But with Tsumeshogi, there's no opinion. There's going to be a mate, assuming that there's no flaw in the problem. So it teaches us to calculate really precisely. Yes, Schwartz, that is correct. So let's look at another move that doesn't work. Um, this is hoping for this. Of course, also hoping for this, but uh, he's not gonna take it or move back. He's just gonna move forward instead. After which there's not enough pieces to mate. Escapes this way. He could also do this. Not enough. Okay, so did you guys find it? Okay, I'll give the first move of the solution. You have to do a non-promotion this way. If he runs back this way, there's this. Okay, and if he takes, there's this that simple atama kin. Now, if this, then there's going to be a simple mate this way. So the only way for him to continue on and lengthen his resistance is 2-4 king. Anyway, this is what I meant by calculating defense. We have to find the best possible moves for the defending side, and not just play hope chess or hope shogi. So we can learn a lot about defense as well. Okay, the next move is this. Okay, and if he takes, we have that position we just looked at. And if this, then here. So the only thing to do is go up here. And then we check, and then we end up in that same position again, except the gold is already on the board, but it doesn't matter because of this. Okay, I'll show that again. Good. Okay, we can move on to the next problem. If I'm going too quickly or you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Well, Miyamo, what's your rank, or do you have a rank? I think one of the most important things to do when you're starting out is to do Tsumeshogi. Not the really complicated ones, but maybe really simple 1 or 3 moves. And you keep doing that over and over again until it becomes just really natural. Yeah, okay. But you notice that was a 7-move problem that we just did. But as I advanced through the moves, you notice that the 7-move becomes a 5-move problem, and then the 5-move becomes a 3-move problem. So as we go along, the problem becomes shorter and shorter. So one of the techniques that I use to solve really complicated problems is that I'll end up breaking down the complicated problems into simpler ones. So in a way, it's almost like doing 3 or 5 move problems instead of maybe 7 or 9 moves. That way the thing is um, more understandable. And it's very important for it to be understandable when you're starting out. Another reason why you should do really simple problems is that there's often some kind of a really nice what they call tsume tesuji, which is like a tsume tactic. And these tactics will show up much sooner in the shorter problem than, let's say, if it's like a 7 or 9 move problem, then usually the tsume tesuji is hidden later on. So by doing the easier problems, you get to build up your store of patterns. Shogi is like chess is, and even Go are all games of pattern recognition. So we want to learn these tactical patterns that come up very often, so they become second nature to you. So when I'm looking at this position, uh, you see the rook here and the silver blocking the rook. So it looks like there's going to be some type of discovered check involved. The silver can move anywhere and it'll uncover this rook, giving check. Either check or some kind of double check. The problem uh, the problem with this is that you see after the silver moves, the king, it looks like it can move. See, there's like an escape score. So we have to figure out how to prevent the king from escaping like that. There's also this, aside from that you have to worry about. The knight isn't protected. Well, thank you for the question. That was a really good one, Miyamo. Yes, Schwartz, that's correct. Oh no, excuse me, it's wrong. It's wrong. Yes, Fushigi dane. That's correct. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, for the uh, yes, that's correct. Schwartz. Just those small details make a huge difference. Throw a snowball, viewers. Let me know you're there. Yep. No, not you. Other people I know aren't there. Yeah. Yes, again. Yes. Okay. I'll give the first move of the solution. We start out by sacrificing on a possible escape square. So that's going to be forced. Let's look at something else first. Um, if he does something like this, notice that the king can grab the knight after. Can escape this way. This isn't going to work. If the silver weren't here, then bishop could promote, but it's blocking. So again, king escapes that way. If something like this, hoping for that, king runs here, and then he has these options. So there's no way to catch him. So check, and then that's forced. So now when the king ends up running up, the only escape square you have to worry about is on 1-4, grabbing the knight. Two on silver. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, don't worry about being wrong. Just one of the things about Tsumeshogi is you practice calculating. So just it's very much like a muscle. You have to keep doing it over and over again, and you'll eventually become a lot stronger at it. And if you don't do it a whole lot, you become a lot weaker. So it's very much like exercise, physical exercise. So by doing these problems habitually, you'll end up being able to stay very sharp. Okay, now if we do that silver move, either promoting or non-promoting it, it's not going to matter. The king isn't going to run here, but here. That way if the rook moves off of the third file, he'll have these options, like this. He does not want to do this because of this. So you notice that the silver is no longer blocking the bishop, so it can promote on 2-2. So keeping that variation in mind, even though this one ended up failing, excuse me, is there a way that we can get into this similar type of position where we end up with something like this? So we want to force the king to go onto 1-3, this 1-3 square. And then we can get that same mate. Okay, and we do that by promoting the silver here. See, it's a double check. If the king moves here, so we must take it. And if we check here or here, the king's going to take the knight. So our next move has to be such that the king can't grab the knight. Yes. Do you see the move? Miyamo-san? Okay. Hopefully you saw this. Okay, good. It's stopping the king from grabbing the knight. So we end up in that similar position that we saw before. And we finish the mate. Okay, I'll show it again. Okay. Good. Miyamo-san, can I ask how you found my stream? Oh, okay, okay. Do you play on 81 Dojo or any of the other internet servers? Yeah, if you haven't heard, okay. Used to learn and exercise shogi like an yeah. Do you know of the 81 Dojo server? That's where Fugishidane and Chronoc, yeah, we all are part of that server. One of the reasons why it's nice is that there's analysis features. So after the game, you can do console sen. Yeah, it's very convenient for that. $81dojo.com. Murio des. It's free. Okay, so when we're looking at this problem, one of the things that we notice is this pawn here. So whenever we see pieces like that, we have to ask what the function is. Uh, unlike uh, unlike real game situations, Tsumeshogi composition follows strict rules. So what one of the rules is that all pieces must have some reason for being there. So there can't be any extraneous stuff. Yes, Schwartz, that's correct. We also see that the king is attacking the rook, so something must be done about that. So a move like this will fail to this. So one of the things we can do is visualize what would happen if the king were all the way up here on 1-6. Then it would be an easy mate with the rook promoting here. So is there a way to get to that position? Yes. I don't know. Is it supposed to sound like wonderful? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, I'll show the first move of the solution. This check. A king must go up. Now, notice if the king were on here, like we were visualizing earlier, there wouldn't be any mate because the rook isn't able to promote. So in a way, this rook here is like a jamagoma. It's a piece in the way of the rook on 2-3, which can promote. So we also have to take that into consideration. So this is no good. There's no promotion. He's just gonna, so he'll just run up here. Okay, so the next move is this. Forcing the king to 1-6. Well, it's really too bad you can't promote that rook. You can promote this one. So how to uh, solve that problem? Yep, it's a jamagoma. Okay, we do it by getting out of the way. So now this rook is free to promote. After takes, or some igoma. Is this? See, the gold is pinned, so you can't take it. Okay, show that again. Good. Okay, next one. Okay. Hmm. So two things that we have to ask when we're looking at this problem is there a way to get this gold onto a capturing square so you can get into hand? And another is it supposed to be like some piece that ends up, I guess, blocking the way for the opponent's king? The two questions to think about. I don't know if I should answer that. Aren't you supposed to tell me? Okay, does anyone have any ideas that you'd wish to examine as candidate moves? I don't think that's the answer, Schwartz. Oh, yeah, we have to look at these pawns and ask why they're there. Yeah. Yeah, they are kind of suspicious. Kind of shady looking pawns. Okay, we'll first look at a zokushu. That's zokushu is sort of like an obvious move or what they call a vulgar move. A vulgar not meaning coarse, but I mean vulgar not meaning uh, it just means like common move, like an obvious move. Uh, if if blocking here, then there's this. So king is going to run here. Notice he can't do this because of this. So must run that way, and then there's no way to continue the attack. not enough. Also this way. Not. So this isn't going to work. Another thing to look at is this. Because you look at some kind of thing like this. This will mate here, but he's not going to take the silver. He's going to just grab the rook here. There's not enough. Yeah. Also, this clearance isn't enough. Here's it here. I think you can block with the knight. Must block with the knight, because if something else, then there's going to be like here. So the 5-3 square has to be defended. Like this, and then there's not going to be a mate. See? Okay, I'll give you a hint. If this silver weren't here, what move would you play? It'd lead to an easy mate. due to this rook check. That was a huge hint. So Miyamo-san, are you a streamer? And if so, what do you stream? Okay. Path of Exile. I haven't heard of that before. Okay. Path of Exile. Huh. Okay. All right. I'll give the Diablo 3. Yeah, I've heard of Diablo, but I don't think I've ever seen it before. Okay. I'll give the first move of the solution. It's this. Oop. Notice that the silver's gone now. So how do we get to that position where there's, the silver's gone, but yet let's get to this position without the silver. How do we do it? Yes, that is correct. You sacrifice the bishop. Okay. Now, oh yeah. We're gonna see why these pawns are here. If king up, takes here, and if king here, this gold here, notice that the king can't escape like that. So takes, check. If here, then promotes. If here, then this. So you can't run here. So that's the reason why these pawns are on the board. Okay, so the king takes, and we end up in our desired position. Okay. And now can drop the rook here. If I goma, there's this. So, oh, and if here, then this. Okay. So, gold moves back. Okay. Yeah, Miyamo-san, I'm really happy that you're able to join us today. I'm always glad to see new faces. Here, and then the rook takes here. Mate. Okay, let's look at that again. Silver disappears. And mate. Good. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the stream so far. And if you are, please follow. That would help me out tremendously. At the moment, I have 38 followers, and I need 50 to get to affiliate status. But I've been kind of struggling at this 30-something number for a couple weeks now. So hopefully that'll change, but if not, I have to figure something out. Okay. That is a link to my YouTube channel. I archive some of my streams there and also post lecture videos that aren't streamed. Okay, so the first remark about this position is that uh, the first move of the solution is kind of counterintuitive because it's a heavy looking move. You got it? Yeah, sure, show me what you have. Proof is in the variation. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, okay, so let's look at a couple of moves. One is this. If king takes, he's just gonna interpose, and this lance is defending against a silver drop. Okay, not enough. So this doesn't work. The other thing we look at is a sacrifice here. But he's going to take with the king, not the lance. Because if he did take with the lance, there would be this. So after here, there's no way to continue the checks. Here. And this makes absolutely no sense because you end up with that same variation except a piece down. Okay. So that leaves one move, and that's this. If you're a player who likes playing light moves, this might come as a real shock. It looks heavy, but it actually isn't. And the reason why it isn't heavy is that there's tactical follow-ups that make this move work. Okay. So if here, that's pretty easy. So the king has to run up here. And now the only, this won't work, so here, check. Okay, and then we end up in that same situation as before. We can even promote here and then drop the silver here to mate. Or we can do that. Okay. So the lance must take. And then we can go back to that position where the silver is here and the king is here. And we do that by drawing this, getting that formerly, this former Jamagoma. Okay. Clearing the way for the rook. Good. Let's look at it again. And mate. Good. Okay, so when we start out, we always look at the escape routes of the king. Natural one is coming up the board. So looking at this kind of formation, one really natural looking move is this knight in order to end up hitting these two squares. The problem is after this, the king can escape this way. So we can quickly eliminate this as a move. Okay, so when we look at the Nigemichi, remember, what's one of the ways that we deal with Nigemichi? Okay. Well, what did you find? Okay. Four, five, knight. Okay, well we can look at that. Okay, and if he takes, bishop 4-4. Okay, it's the only move. So you can run here or here. This, yeah, he'll interpose. I guess you can use a knight. Yeah, he gets out like this. I don't think it looks right. I mean, I don't. Hmm, I don't share that opinion. Okay, I'll give the first move. So in order to deal with Nigemichi, a lot of times we end up sacrificing pieces on it in order to create blocks. And we do that by this move here. So if he interposes, and there's this check, and there's this. If this, then there's that. If here, you simply take this. And here, or if here, and this atama kin, there's two in hand, so easy mate. So the only way to continue resisting is taking. Yeah. After that first move, the rest of the moves are pretty easy to find. So in this one, the Tsume Tetsuji, the main Tsume Tetsuji happened on the first move. But there's one more coming up. Yep. Next. Okay. Check. Show it again. Good. Load the next one. Hmm. Okay. So when I'm looking at this problem, we say hitome, which means at a glance. Uh, so intuitively, I want to promote the rook here. The reason why is it ends up driving the king by in this area here. The reason why is he can't take this way because of this. So the king must take. And then you have to figure out how, if there's a way to mate after that. Sorry, I kind of gave a lot away when I did that, but I just wanted to show you my line of thinking when you look at problems like this. Sometimes moves just kind of pop out. But don't worry, there's going to be another Tsume Tetsuji coming up real soon after that. Okay, so I'll show the first move. It is this after all. And there. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, the next move after this is kind of obvious. This check here. King can't go back because of the atama kin. So, must go here. But then you're kind of afraid that he's going to run out here. Or here. So is there a way to solve both of the problems simultaneously? Yep. So again, sacrifice on the Nigemichi. If Aigoma is this simple move. So he's forced to take. Now we can't drop the gold here because he runs up here. So must do this. And now notice that the king, when it runs back, it can't go to 5-1. It's blocked now. And mate. Okay, show it again. It doesn't matter, right? Mm. Shorts, do you have a website? Or do you have experience building websites? You can build, okay. I was thinking that I need to make a website, that's why. Might make it easier to organize the community that way. So do you even have experience in some like graphic design tool? Mm. What about any experience in graphic design? Okay. Mhm. Okay, so have you figured out the problem yet? Okay. I'll give a general idea behind this. Uh, we, what we want is a position where the king is here on 2-2. That way it'll be an easy mate like this, right? So we have to figure out how to construct that mating situation. Okay. I'll just leave that there, just so you can see it. Help you visualize. So would you be willing to help me set up a website? Okay, good, good. Okay, so the first move is this. Check. King can't go here because of the horse. So he must go onto that 2-2 square. So now we see our second problem. We just dropped the knight. Didn't I just say that the rook wants to go here? So that seems kind of odd, right? It's suddenly a Jamagoma. So hopefully at this point you won't have uh, I guess eliminated this first move out of your mind. Okay, got it? I mean, the next move is kind of obvious. Yep, here. So king must go back. And now we have two Jamagoma. So is that the end of it? And this is a total failure? I hope you don't give up yet. Yep. First we get rid of this knight. This way. Okay. King must take. Now we get rid of this pawn. Okay. And then here. Ah, there. Okay, let's look at that again. So we want to make sure the king is here. So this can come in. So we construct that position first. Now that there's two Jamagoma, we get rid of it. Good. Okay, the next problem will be the last for this session. Yeah, I wish there were more people watching. I guess I have to figure out a way to get uh, the event info out, and probably that'll be on the website and on Twitter. Because I don't know how many people actually find the events on this Twitch page. And I guess I have to stick to a regular schedule. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could do that. Yeah, I mean, people are coming to see this thing, but there aren't that many, and the ones that do, I don't know, seem to retain as followers. Mm. Okay, so for this one, the first few moves are kind of obvious. It's going to be this, right? Check. King must go here. Yeah, this problem was actually pretty easy. So the two moves that we have to calculate after this is this one and this one. So let's look at the one that doesn't work first. Okay. So you can just block it, yeah. Oh, you have to be a little bit careful. You don't want that to happen. So with the igoma, do this. Yeah. So now there's no, he just takes it that way. I guess you could also do this. Yeah. Check stop. Yeah, can't promote this text there. Okay, so we can see that this doesn't work. So that leaves us with this. Okay. There. So must take it. Okay. Can you find the remaining moves? Okay, so we do this check. Okay, so and mate this way. Okay, let's look at that one last time. Okay. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad everyone could join us today. If you haven't already, please set up a Twitch account and follow me. Also, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel for archived streams and certain lectures that aren't streamed. If you wish to support my stream, you can contact me at alexi2539 at gmail.com. You can also send me comments or suggestions there. I'm always happy to hear from you guys. Hopefully you learned something today. I will post the next time I will be streaming on the event, under the event section on my Twitch. So thank you. I'll see you later. Bye.